Hey guys, Augie here, coming some more Lost Ark, and today I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on just actually reaching 600 item level so you can actually get on into tier 2. So I know a lot of you are going to be stuck with harmony shards and also harmony leap stones, which those two are normally the ones that you get stuck on. So this is just some quick tips and tricks just to help you get this. So you know you should be running your Abyss of Dungeons, got an icon like that. You should be running that every week. That's a weekly activity. Then you should also be running your garden raid, which you can do twice a day. There's a garden you can harvest, and then the way you actually know if you've harvested them, you come on over to the board. You see up there is your 2 souls. If that's full, then it means you actually harvested it for the day, so you can't get any more materials. See, it has all 3 of the upgrade materials. The Abyss dungeon doesn't give you as much materials, but it does give you gold, which you can use then to buy materials, and it gives you a lot of other good stuff as well. And then your Chaos dungeon is another really big way of actually getting all the materials. And it gives you gear, then you can actually take this gear and dismantle it for even more materials. And then that you can run twice a day realistically with your aura resonance to get the gear and everything. But then you can actually, a very good tip that nobody actually knows about, or a lot of people know about but don't understand, is infinite chaos dungeons. Where you actually come here after you've done your 2 daily runs, so you won't have your aura of resonance. And you run this over and over, and you actually get these 2 materials of here, perception shards and disorder crystals. And if you come on down to this vendor over here, you can actually trade them in for all the tier 1 materials right over there. Now there is a weekly limit of them, but it's quite high. There's a weekly limit of 25 and then 25, 75. So that's a little bunch of materials there that you can get to push on through. I do have a separate video on my channel as well for Infinite Chaos Dungeons that explains it really well and shows you the most efficient way to actually farm it. And that's that. And then also another thing we do have is the tower that a lot of people don't think about. Now the problem with the tower is for you to actually get materials on it, you need to run you need to have another character run it first, because the first time completion of the tower you don't actually get materials, but then the second time completion on another character, so an alt for example. So if you're trying to push your main into tier 2, you get an alt and you level up your alt a little bit, I would say around 420 item level. That would make it so your alt can clear the first 24 levels of the tower. That will get you a lot of materials on your main, so to say. So you come to your main at that time and have a look over here. I have cleared this before on a different character, so this is all the materials that you do get. There's 1,000 shards, 2,000, 3,000 shards, 10 leaf stones. There's another 5,000 shards, and there's all these guardian stones. And that over there's some silver, more leaf stones, more shards, more, like, you can get the picture. That's a lot of materials. That alone, with the buff from your stronghold, but this is for alts, would probably get you to tier 2 just about. But if you're struggling for some mats on your main and you're trying to push your main up, then you see these are all the things you would get. So a nice easy level to achieve is 420 with your alt, and that alone, just those few levels, so those 20 could actually go to 24 on this, and then at 25 it'd have to be the next level on your alt to clear it. But this is a lot of materials over here just to help you push you through that little bit. And then another thing that we do have as well is the cube. You can run this and it gives you some of these upgrade materials. Not upgrade materials, but you use these to increase your chances. And these I would realistically use between plus 13 and plus 15. So you'd actually be using these on plus 14, or plus 13 to 14 and plus 14 to 15 as the most efficient way of using them. Using them on the last level obviously is the most, but you know, RNG, the upgrading really is the honing. But yeah, those do increase your chance of honing. Just a little bit, but any little chance is good. And then you also do get a weekly as well, I believe. You come over here to your weekly and cube. That just gives you a bit of silver and stuff. And it also gives you a stone on that one. So you could just use that as well. Always just pick it up if you're going to run the cube anyway. And then boss rush as well. Also gives you leap stones. This is actually tier 2 boss rush. I don't know why tier 1 is not showing up. Oh, actually no, it is only from tier 2 and tier 1. So this is not for us. That's for tier 2 anyway, boss rush. But make sure to do that once you're tier 2. Okay, let me go show you guys the pirate vendors. Your map, and you go ready to sail. And then that takes you out. And I'll show you guys the pirate vendors. So this is another easy way for you to get materials that a lot of people forget about. So don't forget about these pirate vendors. They are not shared. I mean, they are not locked. So you can actually, per character, you can buy all of their stuff out per character per week and then send it over to your main. So you see these 2 little icons over here. There's ships. You actually come over to them and you can see what they've all got for sale. Now this is not the one we're looking for. Must be this one down here. Yeah, that one over there. You come to upgrade normal and you see there destruction stones. This does cost pirate coins, but you should have quite a bit of pirate coins from doing the other islands and stuff. Enough to just help push you into tier 2 anyway. You don't have to do this every single day or every week. It's just to help you push that last little bit. So there's a weekly limit of 30 as well. There's 90 on that, and then that as well. And then this actually works in all the tiers. So if you are ever stuck in a tier every week, you can always come to the ship in, and most of the stuff is not bound. I think those actually do become bound. Yeah, untradeable. But these two you can send between your alts. So you can actually go log onto an alt and they have a weekly limit, exactly the same limit. Not they don't share the limit, but they have the same limit. So they can also only buy 30 and then 90. But then you can just put them in your roster storage, pull them out in your main, and there's a whole bunch of extra materials to help you push that last little bit to 600. And then last but not least is actually the guild vendor, the Selmiel Bloodstone Exchange. Now each major city has one. If you go on your map and you just type it in here, Selmiel will actually start flickering, so you can actually see it right there on top of me. So you come on over to this person, and this is actually also a weekly limit, but it is roster bound, so this is only on one character. You can't switch to other characters. It is a weekly roster limit. So if you come over to the honing materials, you get the honing shard, and depending on what level your guild is, what research they have unlocked is how many you can actually buy. That's level 2 and level 4 of the lab, I believe, or the research for it, whatever it is. These is not very much, but it is, you won't be using these bloodstones for anything else, so you might as well pick them up. So that's some harmony shards, destruction stones, and then guardian, and then more. And also you can actually get tickets over here to get into the cube, for example. There's the ticket cube, and level 2 the ticket cube for the entrance to the Hall of Silence, and all these tickets as well. You could buy those, and then also as well you just get a little bit of silver from them. So it could be either one of those three. It's not all three or one or the other ticket and silver. It's one of the three. So you could either get the silver, the ticket, or the other ticket. And then this one over here as well, just the same thing again. So that one actually has the 50-50 chance, either getting the silver or the ticket in tier 1. But yeah, guild vendor is not a bad one over there. And then also this is XP and all that kind of stuff. You don't really need that. This is where hoarding materials, guild vendor, and that's all there really is to it, guys. And last, also one thing I've almost forgot to remember is your Una's dailies. So if you press Alt J for them, you should know about your Una's dailies by now if you're playing, and you look at all these leap stones you get from these, from the weekly Una's tasks. Doing the boss rush gives you 24, and then a really easy one is PvP, Proving Grounds. Actually just need to play 5 matches of Arena. Now you queue for arenas, you just click over here, this little thing over here, apply to battlegrounds. Then you choose one of these 3. And if you haven't set up your book of coordination yet, they won't actually let you queue for the match. You just come over to book of coordination. And then you just have to spend your points, and you've got to actually set up your tree, because it's all separate in PvP. Everything is equalized. There's no gear values or anything. So actually set your stats however much you want in whatever thing. You can actually look up a guide for this quite easily, or just make whatever you want. You're only doing it for the weekly anyway. Choose your skills, and then once that's set up, you can actually go ahead and then do the weekly. And that's all there is to it, guys. I hope this helps and you guys actually push on through into the next tier, whether it be tier 2 or tier 3 or whatever. But this is mainly for getting to that 600, just that last little push. Hope to see more of you guys in tier 2, and hit that sub button to be up to date with all the new videos and stuff I have coming out for you guys. Really appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Augie saying out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the